Good morning, everyone. Rise and shine. And you are watching WEAC TV 24's Rise and Shine with the Alabama Cares program on this Friday morning, August 8th, 2025. We thank you so much for joining us so early this morning. And I'm Ellen Hurst. And as always, I hope that today's show will teach you something new. Okay, we strive to bring you education and resources that are local to your areas that could help with your family, a friend, someone you know, someone from church, someone down the road, right? And today we bring you Damarco Curry. He is a founder of a new mentoring program, Taking Generations Back, and he is also a social worker with the school system here in Oxford. I think the Armorville, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. And he may look a little familiar to you since he is on some of the commercials we show on our breaks. You'll probably see him. But good morning, Damarco.
Good morning, Ellen.
I am so glad that you agreed to do my show. You were kind of hesitant at first. But I'm so glad. Thank you so much for being with us. And I am a firm believer of sharing good things. But we also talk about things that we don't want to talk about that are hard subjects to talk about, but we have to talk about them, you know. I mean, I've had somebody here from the domestic violence shelter talking about that. I've had somebody here talking about, you know, sex trafficking. We've talked about all different kinds of things that you don't want to talk about. That's hard to talk about, right? Mm-hmm. But we have to talk about it. And especially like to share the really good things. And so when I saw that you had this new mentoring thing and somebody actually told it to me, it says something about it, put it a little bit in my ear.
That's good.
Because you used to be with ASAB, mm-hmm. You're no longer with them, but you continue your work with children, not only through the local schools, but from the new program that you founded. So let's talk first about, give the audience a little bit of background about what brought you to brought you to this new program. And I know you got your degree at Jack State. Mm-hmm. Go Gamecocks, right?
Go Gamecocks.
So that's right. So what made you decide to go into social work? Because you have a degree in social work, correct? Mm-hmm. Do you have an undergrad and grad, or just?
I have an undergrad in criminal justice. Yes.
Okay.
So how I kind of started that journey was that when I was younger, I didn't have many role models. I grew up in a single parent home, and my first role model was my juvenile probation officer by the name of Cedric Wilson. And he was the first positive figure that I actually saw, and he still mentors me to this day.
That is so
and that
good.
kind of pushed me to go off to college, get my criminal justice degree, because my dream was always to become a probation officer because that was my hero at the time. So he pushed me to go off to Stillman College, got my degree there.
Awesome.
Never was the school guy, never was, hey, I want to go to college, because of the environment that I was in. I never saw that.
Things can change.
Things can change, things can change.
Yes.
And I came home for like a year, and I was like, criminal justice is not working out. I worked at Coosa Valley Youth Services for like a year or two, and I was like, I need something more. And a lady reached out to me about the social work program at Jacksonville State University. And I ended up going back and getting my master's. So now I'm working at Oxford City Schools as a school social worker.
Isn't that an awesome story? So see, all you young folks out there, I mean, you're a testament to what you're doing mm-hmm. too. And I think that's so important, because our young people need somebody to look up to and somebody that they can relate to. Mm-hmm. And I feel like you fit that role. I really do. I think that's awesome, because when you talk to them, I mean, it comes from your heart. I mean, you know what you're talking about. Right. You said, I grew up in a single parent home. You had a probation officer, all the things. So when you talk to somebody, it comes from here, you know.
Right. I've experienced it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. So I think that's what my passion comes from.
And he even is an author. We'll get to that a little bit later too. But that is just, that's so awesome. And I congratulate you for that.
Thank you.
That's very admirable. That's very admirable. So you had all that, and my undergrad was a criminal justice too.
Okay,
yeah.
Come on,
something
yeah.
in common, and I'm about to finish my master's. Yeah, I'm enrolled at Jack State. What was I thinking? But no, I am finishing what I started. So there you go. But so you went and got your social work degree, and then you said that you were working at DYS or at Coosa Valley. Not Department of Youth Services, but kind of at Coosa Valley.
Back in 2021.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you went back and got your degree, and I know that you worked at ASAP for a little while. So what like, what did you do at ASAP? And like, how did this whole idea of your mentor program, how did it start?
So I was actually over the schools, so I used to go in and implement the Watch Our program. Are you familiar with the Watch Our program?
Tell us all about it.
So the Watch Our program is basically where we go in and we meet the social and emotional needs of the kids. So I used to go in and teach them different type of coping mechanisms, how to cope with the moment. Sometimes our kids just don't know how to meet the moment.
Right.
And a lot of times I used to go in and teach them characteristic development, all of that. And that's what kind of birthed my mentoring program, Taking Generations Back, because I saw kids, and a lot of times we don't know how to meet them where they are. So my goal is to take back generations by meeting them where they are, teaching them character development skills, teaching them how to meet the moment, but also teaching them how to be valuable additions to society. Because a lot of times,
that's very important.
Yes, it is, because a lot of our kids, they don't know purpose. And if you don't know purpose, it's going to be hard for you to wake up every morning.
Exactly.
So I try to instill into them purpose and value in living each and every day.
And we talked a little bit before we started the show about, I have experience working with juvenile delinquents, and I remember, telling some of the kids that I worked with that, it's okay to be angry. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's part of being a human.
Right.
It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be all those things, but you have to learn how to channel that emotion and the appropriate way to deal with it. And like you said, meeting that child where they are, because a lot of the kids that I work with, they just never were given coping skills. They never were taught at home any coping skills. So here they are in our schools, getting older. Like you said, trying to find their way and giving them purpose. I love that, because teaching them all those things and having a mentor, that's very important.
Oh yeah, and I always implement that, because everything serves a purpose. This cup, some good coffee, these seats make us comfortable, but a lot of times human beings, we get so caught up in human doing that they think their purpose is achieving, but really it's being who you are, flaws and all. And I try to instill that, especially in our young men, because a lot of times, with the narrative that society paints on young men, even women now, that you have to achieve to be successful. You have to do all of these things, but I believe that true success comes from knowing who you are and knowing what you were created to be.
And that goes back to just your basic old school thinking, right?
Yes.
Because now we live in a society where we have social media and all that. And and I like social media, don't get me wrong. I think it serves its purpose too, because I think it's wonderful as a platform to reach people that you can't normally reach and all that good. I mean, when it's used correctly, right? Let's say that. When it's used correctly. And I feel like the children today, I mean, I can't even wrap my head around, like I can't even begin to think, I couldn't imagine me in high school, junior high, middle school, elementary. I can't imagine having social media. And you see, I mean, even just us getting on TikTok or getting on Instagram or anything like that, you see all these influencers saying this, that, and kids, when they don't have any direction, they believe everything.
Right.
And then they feel like they're less than if they're not that.
Right.
Do you find that?
Yes. Most of our young men, they want to be football stars, or they want to be quote unquote artists, rappers. And a lot of times they don't understand the percentage of individuals that actually go to the NFL.
Oh, well,
it's low.
I could tell you that, because I do sports too. So, and I actually did an interview with Jason Burnell, who used to play at Jack State. I don't know if you remember him. He played basketball at Jack State. And I remember, because he plays in Italy now on the Italian league in professional basketball. And I remember telling Jason when I interviewed him, I said, do you realize that you're in the 3%? And he said, what does that mean? And I said, out of all sports, not just men's sports, female, everything, all sports, high school, only 3% or like 2 point something percent make it to college. Wow. So making that in and of itself is just unreal.
Right.
That's just wow, you know what I mean? And
Right.
pat yourself on the back for
Right.
making it there. But then out of those that are in college, only 3% make it to the next level, which is the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, softball, professional softball, whatever it is. So, yeah, I
Wow.
mean, people don't realize. And it's not that you're not good, but just like my husband said, when he played football in college, when he got to college, he said he realized he wasn't the only one that was good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's more competition.
Right. It's because you're all there for a reason.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's to maintain your scholarship and
Right.
hopefully get a starting position.
Right, because you have to work for it.
Right. Right.
You know, and the guys on the field, I think a lot of kids don't realize that too. Like your Alabama, JSU, wherever you're going, the stars or the people, you know, they didn't get. Yeah, of course they have some talent to them. They were born with some of it. I'm not saying that, but they work for it.
Yeah.
You have to work.
Yeah.
You have to earn that spot.
Yeah, and I talk about that in my first book. A lot of people told me that I can be an NFL star, but they didn't talk to me about the process. So when I graduated my senior year, I went on a spiral, Ellen. Like, I got depressed, had high anxiety. I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Because you just thought, bam, it was going to happen,
It's just going to fall out. And I already had tied my identity to running up and down a football field.
Right.
So what happens when you've tied your identity to something that doesn't work out? You start picking up old habits, doing old things, which led me back to old stuff, hanging with old friends. And I didn't tell you, but one of my turnaround was being an innocent bystander. I got shot in my leg.
Oh,
Yes. So all of that took me down a spiral. And when I ended up, getting shot, it finally clicked. The lady came in and she told me that the bullet was inches away from my main artery in my leg.
Oh.
And if it would have hit my leg, I probably would have bled out on scene.
Ah.
And it clicked for me in that moment. And my goal with my mentoring program is that it don't take all of that. If you can meet those kids where they are, they don't have to go through what I went through to become who I am.
Right. But I'm kind of glad you went through it. I mean, I'm not glad that you got shot, but I'm glad that you did go through everything, because I think you've learned a lot from it. And just talking to you and knowing you for the past week, I can tell that all of it, you've embraced it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So we are going to take a break, so hold that thought.
Okay.
So we're going to take a short break for a word from our supporters, and you are watching WEAC TV 24, Rise and Shine with the Alabama Cares program, and we'll be right back.
I want to live. The leading cause of death of young Americans like me is gun violence, and oftentimes tied to substance misuse. NBA, NFL, NCAA, most of you look like me, and our communities need you now more than ever. Let's make I want to live more than just a hashtag. Let's make it a movement. I am a baller against bullets.
I'm Alan Parnell, Parnell Insurance Agency. We've been here in Oxford and Alabama, Tallapoosa, Georgia since 1990. With Auto Owners Insurance, we're able to give customers competitive pricing along with excellent coverages. Parnell Insurance can handle all of your personal, commercial, and life insurance needs. We have a very experienced staff, both personal and commercial. All together, we've got about 125 years experience. Come see what our insurance agency can do for you in Oxford, Alabama, and Tallapoosa, Georgia.
Auto Owners Insurance.
Hey guys, this is Blair Smith at Pediatrics Plus here in Anniston, located on Henry Road. I'm over here on the well side, but we do also have a sick side urgent care if you need us. We are more than happy to see you guys. Just come on, check us out if you get a fever, cough, or cold, or want to come in for a good checkup. Thank you.
Backus Bibles and Books is dedicated to providing churches as well as individuals with products and services geared towards strengthening every relationship with Christ. We specialize in Bibles, Bible imprints, Bible restoration, church supplies, home decor, gifts, and apparel. Call us at 256-201-1202 or visit us Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at 1100 Highway Drive in Oxford, Alabama. We look forward to serving you, equipping the people of God to expand the kingdom of God.
Good morning. Welcome back to Rise and Shine this morning, and I have Damarco with me. And very interesting, all the things that you're talking about. You have, I mean, how old are you now, if you don't mind me asking?
27.
You are 27 years old and you have lived a life already.
Yeah.
Like you have experiences that a lot of people never even dreamed of having, right?
Right.
But you know, we were talking a little bit during break. I mean, I think that, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. You know, I think God puts you where you're supposed to be. And, you know, I mean, I've made mistakes in my life. I mean, nobody's perfect, right? I learn every day. And, you know, and sometimes I thank God for those mistakes sometimes, because I think, you know what, I wouldn't appreciate where I am today, or I wouldn't appreciate this as much as I do, or this as much as I do, had I not went through that.
Right,
you know?
right.
So everything has its season, right? And I think that having teaching kids that it's okay to go through seasons,
Right.
and like you said, and meeting them where they are so that they can grow and they can move instead of like. And I love the fact that you said it was a hard lesson for you, but you said that, you know, you had the plans before we left to break. In case you're just now joining us, Damarco said he had plans. He wanted to play football in college and wanted to go to the NFL and all that, and but nobody told him what to do to get there.
Right.
And I think that sometimes in life that all of us are a little bit like that, you know.
Yeah.
And how wonderful it is that you're stepping up and saying, hey, there needs to be something out there to where we can do. So you said that you got this program together, and what's it called again? Tell everybody what it's called.
Taking Back Generations.
Okay, Taking Back Generations, which is a mentor program, which I think is wonderful. And so there's your logo. I love that.
Thank you.
And so the population that you serve, I think you said to me before, was ages 12 to 16.
12 to 16, yes.
And male.
Yes.
Male 12 to 16. So how does one person get to you for a mentoring program? What is the process?
So I have applications for my mentors. I've actually been sending them out. Many people have been emailing me, or they find me on Facebook or Instagram and they ask for the application, and I just send it. And I'm basically just looking for the skills. I really want stories, like real stories and hearts. Like
Yes.
many people forget to have the heart in what they do, and I believe that this generation needs someone that shows compassion, that shows love for what they
yes.
do. So I'm not asking for much. I'm asking for your heart. So.
Right, and it takes a special person to share that, and I think it takes a strong person to share the problems and things that you've been through. I think it takes a very big person to admit their wrongs and to say, this is what I did in life. I don't want you going down that road. Let me tell you about it.
Right.
You know, I think that's big, and I think that's big in you saying that too. Right. So you do boys. So because I work with a lot of grandparents raising grandkids. I'm sure you see that a lot.
Yeah, I see that a lot.
A lot. Thank God for grandparents, y'all.
Yeah. They rock. They really rock.
They do. They are the real rock stars. So, like I said, I mean, so many of the grandparents I see raising grandchildren these days, I feel they would appreciate young men mentoring their grandsons, especially since some of the grandparents, I think, are single and they're trying to do all of it by themselves, and they're on limited income and all that, and it's hard for them, and plus the generation gap, you know what I mean? So I mean, I think that's wonderful. So if there's a grandma out here in TV land out there that says, you know, I would like for my kid, like my grandkid, to be part of that, how do you do that?
So they can reach out to me via email, Damarco Curry Speaks at gmail.com.
Okay.
And they can just ask to be a part of it, and I have a spreadsheet already ready with some kids already. I'll be doing this in Talladega and Anniston.
Oh, okay.
Talladega
So it's not
and
just
Anniston.
limited to the Calhoun County area.
No. So all they have to do is reach out, send the kid's name. I will actually interview the kid to kind of get a baseline information of what he likes, what he enjoys.
To match up personalities a little bit.
Right. So we'll go through that process, and he'll be ready to go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that wonderful? I mean, I love that. So, and what do you think, like, what needs have you been seeing the most? Like, what out there as far as the kids go? What needs do you find in these kids that you see the most? What's the biggest need?
The biggest need that I'm seeing the most is communication.
I can see that.
This generation is lacking communication.
Oh, I can see that. Yes.
Whether it's tied to their feelings, like articulating what they're feeling, whether it's what they want to do in life, it's hard for them to put in words.
And do you think part of that is because we are such a society that's linked to our devices and to, like, you know, I mean, I'm sorry, but, you know, I went to a restaurant with my husband not long ago, and there was a grandparent that walked in there with their grandchild, and the grandchild had their little notepad and was watching a movie instead of having that one-on-one with their grandpa and talking to their grandpa. I mean, oh my gosh, I'd give my right arm to have my grandpa's back.
Right.
You know, I mean, I remember the funny stories they used to tell me and the like crazy thing, you know, just to make me laugh. And good memories, you know. I wouldn't want my memory of my grandpa to be me sitting there watching a movie while I'm eating, you know. So, I mean, do you feel that may be one of the reasons why our younger generation is so disconnected from even their own feelings because they're constantly scrolling?
Yes, I always say that. Technology is literally raising the kids today. It don't just start in middle school. Like, these kids have phones, tablets in 2nd, 3rd grade, even as babies. They're putting them in front of TVs and allowing them to not focus on social interaction or that one-on-one contact that you spoke of, and it's teaching them to not know how to socialize.
Disconnect.
Yes.
They're disconnected.
Yes. So with my mentoring program, that's basically what I'm gonna be trying to break down, those walls that have been built up by technology.
Yeah, and you leave your phone at home, or turn it off, or we'll leave it and call your mom later, or whatever. Right. Well, I think that's very important. I mean, you see it so much. You see it, you know, because I'm a student at JSU and I live at Jacksonville too. So I see kids like walking to class, they're just like zombies, just like looking at their phone constantly, you know. And I mean, we're all guilty. I'm not saying I'm perfect, because we're all guilty of scrolling and that kind of thing. And I truly believe social media has its place, and it's a good thing. I mean, it can teach things. I mean, we have support groups online that we do for our caregivers that can't leave their loved one, and that they could do it from home. I mean, there's purposes to it, but I think, especially at a young age, I think there should be a limit to screen time.
Oh yeah, it should be.
You know, because like you said, you don't want social media or your tablet to raise your kids, so to speak. So have you? And I don't know. I guess. So are you doing this with other, like you said, you're interviewing other people to be mentors as well, not just you.
Right.
So they can be mentors throughout the Talladega and the Anniston area. Do you feel like this may be something that that might grow later on? We're going to ask, them, worst they could say is no. So we're going to say, do you hope that maybe once this gets started and it moves on, that maybe you can see a female mentor program going forward, like eventually? Because I feel that, you know, there's a lot of young ladies, I think, that would benefit from something similar, I think, because there's some ladies, young girls that don't, you know, they don't have, maybe they don't have their mom in their life, you know?
Yeah, eventually, yes. I'm actually in talks with now a friend that I feel like she should come on and collab with that, because like you said, there are some young ladies out there that can benefit from what we have to offer, because this generation, it's not just a guy thing. I just relate more with guys.
Well, of course, yes.
But I am looking into that.
Yeah, and if you're his friend, you need to do what he says. If he believes in you, I believe in you too.
I want to make sure I send this to her.
And I think, you know, I think we talked a little bit before about when you were at ASAP, maybe you did this. I know that there are some schools, which I think this is great, some schools have programs where they teach kids like just your basic things that people don't know, you know, like etiquette, like table etiquette or how to tie a tie, or, just little things that people don't really think anything about. I mean, I wouldn't know how to tie a bow tie, or I wouldn't know,
Right.
I could tie a regular tie, but I don't know how to tie a bow tie.
Right.
But, and some kids don't even know how to do a regular tie either because they never had to wear one, or,
Right.
or whatever. But I just think like little things like that a young man can mentor that child, that young man, to where one day when he becomes a businessman or whatever, he can learn how to tie that tie and say, you know what, Damarco taught me this.
Right. Right.
But that's so cool.
Right. Yeah, it's the small things.
Yeah.
Ellen.
And you took time to get to know that kid, and like you said, meeting them where they are and making them feel like they are relevant and they have purpose. God puts you here for a reason, right?
Oh yeah, he does. And it's the small things, like you said. Most kids are struggling with knowing how to show up to an interview now. So how to conduct yourself, in an interview. That's the type of stuff we're going to be talking about.
I work for an agency, and I've seen some people come in to interviews, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. We need to talk.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's
they never was taught.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah. Dress like you're wanting a job, not like you're going to Walmart or to the club. I mean,
Right.
So I get it because I've seen both. But it's like you said, it's really not their fault because nobody's ever really taught them, and it's little things like that they could learn from.
Right.
And we don't think anything of it because we take it for granted. We take it for granted because we know better, right? We know. But these kids, don't. And, the probation officer that believed in you, that was your mentor. I mean, and look how far you've come. And, and I know that one day I'm going to have you back on this show, and you're going to tell me about all these kids that are CEOs and everything else, and that you mentored. I cannot wait to hear your stories.
Thank you.
Or you should write a book about it.
I may do that.
You never know. We'll talk about his books too later on too. So you never know. So hold that thought too. We're going to talk about some more things as well. This is really interesting. So if you missed the first part, make sure that you go back to Roku, Fire Stick, Apple, YouTube, WEAC TV 24 on Facebook. Make sure you go on that and watch it back. But we are going to take another short break for a word from our supporters, and you're watching WEAC TV 24 Rise and Shine with Alabama Cares program. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The weather is warming up and spring is just around the corner at Miller Sand and Landscape Supply. I'm Craig Miller, and we've got something for everyone. From bulk materials like sand, gravel, and mulch to beautiful outdoor decor to make your outdoor living space the envy of the neighborhood. See our beautiful selection of Mazzarelli fountains, flowers to brighten your garden, and an outdoor center loaded with beautiful decor. Whether you need a little or a lot, visit Miller Sand and Landscape Supply.
Hey, this is Jason at Reeves Insurance. Just want to say a quick thank you to all of our customers for your support over the years. We now have offices in Anniston, Alexandria, and Oxford in order to serve you better. So stop in and see me or any of our experienced staff and let us shop for you. We'll find you the best price and the best coverage available. Thank you.
The Civilian Marksmanship Program, also known as CMP, is a national organization dedicated to training and educating U.S. citizens in responsible uses of firearms and air guns through gun safety training, marksmanship training, and competitions. Their vision is to lead the nation in marksmanship excellence, providing safe, high-quality, and innovative programs with a focus on youth. For more information about the CMP and upcoming events, visit thecmp.org.
Welcome back, everyone. You're watching Rise and Shine with the Alabama Cares program. I'm Ellen Hurst, and I'm here with Damarco Curry. And thank you so much for coming today. And I can't believe we're already halfway through this show. It's gone. I mean, there's just so much to talk about. He has a new program. It's a mentoring program. He's going to be working in Anniston and Talladega, and and there it is, Taking Generations Back, established this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I cannot wait to hear all your awesome stories that you're going to have, because I know you're going to have some good ones. And we were talking that you're going to focus more on boys right now from 12 to 16 years old. And then you're taking he's taking applications, y'all, for mentors. He needs mentors in those two areas. And you're also, the people that have children that want to be a part of the mentoring program can also contact you. And tell them again where they can contact you.
Damarco Curry Speaks at gmail.com, or you can reach out to me on Facebook at Damarco Curry.
At Damarco Curry. Okay. Yeah, so that's awesome. I mean, I'm excited for you. I really and I think this is a good thing. I think, you know, I know that at one of the high schools, or one of the middle schools rather, or elementary schools, used to have that little program I was telling you about, how gentlemen came in from churches or whatever, and they would teach kids etiquette, and they would teach them, you know, interviewing skills, how to tie a tie, all the things, how to change a tire even, I think, was one of the things that they learned. And I know this one gentleman did it every year, and then they stopped doing it. I think he retired or something. But I think what you're doing and picking up, not just doing that's just the little thing, that's just the additional things, right? But I think the big thing for you, I think, is to have that person who has a passion about their community, because I mean, we live in Alabama, we're supposed to be the friendliest, right? And I don't know about you, but I'm tired of Alabama always being in the bottom of the list on everything, aren't you?
Yes.
I mean, I want us to be number one in, like, you know, we're the best with kids, we're the best mentoring kids, we're the best in caregiving, we're the best in, you know, all these things, because I love my communities. I work 10 counties in my region. That's a lot, I know it is. But I'm a little partial to those communities, you know, because you start getting to know people. And you know, Alabamians, people in Calhoun and Talladega counties where you're going to be, they're passionate about their people, and they're passionate about their communities, and it takes a village. I really believe that.
Oh yeah.
You know, and like I said, just look at Damarco here. You know, I mean, you had your probation officer was your mentor, and I'm sure you had other people that came around in your life. And I know some of the people, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you, at Jack State, they love you.
Oh, wow.
In the social work
That's
department.
Like
those ladies talk very well of you. So they've already talked to me about that. So I think it's huge. And you know, you said you wanted people with heart and everything, and I know you mentioned trauma to me before, so let's visit that for a little bit. So what trauma exactly are you talking about? What do we need to talk about?
So when it comes to trauma, it's a tough situation, it's a tough topic, but I love it because it's human. And I believe
we're not perfect.
Right. Yeah. And I believe everybody has some form, fashion of trauma.
I agree.
Especially our young people. But with them, they don't know how to properly articulate it. And one thing about me going through my social work program, one thing that kind of challenged me was getting through my own trauma while matriculating, trying to learn how to navigate somebody else's, right? That was one of my challenges going through my social work program, but it all came full circle and it started to click.
You learned
with
a lot
me.
about yourself, didn't you?
Yes. And what makes a great social worker is someone that knows how to self-reflect.
I think so too.
Right.
And I think that, yes, you know, you hear this all the time, and I'm sure you've heard this being in social work, and I know because I've been around it and worked in it and all that, but you know, it's just kind of like with drugs and alcohol abuse, you know, people that are addiction programs. Who are the best people for the addiction programs to teach somebody or to mentor somebody? It's not someone that's never been on drugs or
Right.
never been an alcoholic, right?
Right.
It's the people that have been there
Mm-hmm.
and been in those shoes and know what that trauma is like
Mm-hmm.
and what that fight is, and that, you know, the burden of it, and how hard it is to beat addiction, and they beat it. That's the person that addict is going to listen to.
Exactly.
They're not going to
Exactly.
listen to me because I've never.
don't understand.
I don't understand
Right.
it. I've never been there. I can't tell you I know how you feel because I don't.
Right.
Right. So yes, I agree with you 100%.
And at the root of that is trauma. At the
Yes.
root of substance misuse is trauma.
Right.
At the root of a kid that's quote unquote defiant,
Yep.
it's trauma. When you have kids growing up in Talladega or Anniston and they're hearing gunshots all the time, that's
Yeah.
trauma. All of that
I couldn't
adds
imagine.
up. Yeah.
I
All
was
of that adds
blessed.
up.
I mean, and again, like I said, I used to work with kids when I worked with juveniles for Department of Youth Services, and you know, and I was honest with my kids. I can't tell you I know how you feel because I've never been there, but I want you to tell me about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's wonderful that they have someone that has been through it, that knows. I mean, because that's who they're going to identify with, and that's who they're going to loosen up to, and that's who they're going to talk to. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, anything, you know, like your addicts, it's trauma because they're self-medicating for something,
Right.
right?
Right.
You know, and then you have, and people say it's just, you know, it don't have to be drugs or alcohol. It could be that bad group of friends. That's their you know, addiction. That's what's feeding, you know, that's who they're running to instead of running to the positive things. It's easier because it's always the easy route, guys, is not always the best route.
Right.
And usually, if it's too good to be true, it usually is. And if you didn't have to work for it, usually it's not worth it. Right.
Right. Even success, like excessive success, can be a form of trauma, because I've talked to many people that went on and got their doctorate and still felt empty because they was chasing after I'm proud of you from a mom or a dad. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta be proud of yourself.
Right.
I did that.
Right. So even success can be
because nobody earned that degree but you.
Right.
You did it.
Right.
You studied all those hours and all the
right.
right. And nobody can take that away from you. No one can take that away from you. You did that. You know, I agree with you, and I think all of us in society, and I think admitting it and sometimes showing your weaknesses is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, it's human.
It is human.
Yeah, it's human. So, what traumas do you feel like? Well, you told me a little bit about how. You know, them growing up in areas where they hear gunshots and it's just like, well, another gunshot. You know, like it's normal. Which, why is it normal? Why are we saying it's okay? Number one, that bothers me.
Right.
You know, that should not be a normal thing.
Right.
But what other traumas do you feel that the kids are dealing with in this day and time?
Neglect at home, and the parent can be there. They can have two parents. But when the kids' emotional needs are not being met, they're looking and they're searching for different things.
And sometimes they're searching not in the right places.
Right. A lot of them turn to gang banging. A lot of them turn to substances because they haven't been getting that their emotional needs being met at home.
Right. And you'd be surprised. I mean, I know when I work with kids, you'd be surprised how much a pat on the back, just something simple saying, you know, I know you can make, like, you know, I told one kid, I said, you know, if you make A's, you know, all A's and B's, I said, I'm going to get you this, blah, 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 you know, just because I knew he was smart. So I was kind of trying to, you know, he came back with all A's. Like, showed me up, like, B's, I got all A's,
Wow.
you know what I mean? But it was just because all I did was show him, hey, I'm interested and I want you to do this. I'm rewarding you for it. And like you said, that pat on the back. You know, just something little.
Right. And just
that they don't get.
Right.
And emotionally, and we're social, you know, people are social beings. And you have to have that. That's part of how we're made up.
Right.
You know?
Right. But what happens when you never hit that?
Right.
You look for accommodations in areas where you shouldn't be
where
seeking.
you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. Wow.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah.
You know, and please, guys, if you feel like this is something that you want to look into, if you want to be a mentor, make sure that you contact him. And also, if you're a grandparent out there or a parent, a single parent, don't have to be a single parent, it could be two parents, I guess, too. You know, if you just feel like your child might need somebody to talk to or to have a mentor to do things. And would you, I know they used to have the big brother, big sisters, but this is, I think, is a little bit more intense, what you're doing, a little bit.
Yes,
from what I'm gathering.
Yes, it'll be more so tailor-made just for that kid.
Yes,
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because like you said, there's different personalities, different everything.
And
so.
different needs.
Yes,
Yeah.
because everybody's not the same.
Right.
And I think that's great to have a bunch of, mentors like on standby, because like you said, you got to match up those kids' personalities with that person, because one kid might not match up with you, but they might match up with this person over here,
right,
where they can relate a little bit better.
Right.
And that's what you want.
Right.
So they can open up, and I can see that. And so we're going to start a little bit right now because we're about to have to go to break, but I am going to start off by saying Mr. Damarco over here is also an author, and you got me right on that. He's an author. So I told him after establishing this, he's going to have to write a book about all the great, wonderful stories he's going to have coming out of his mentorship that he's going to be doing. So, and I know it's going to happen. I know it. You just wait.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to write that book, and you're going to say, you were right. So, because I know you're going to have some good stories. So how did you figure out that you wanted to write books?
Well, Ellen, I started, it's a long story. I started with journaling, really journaling. I didn't have that type of, how I want to say it.
Oh, there's your book.
Look at me. I didn't have that outlet, so I started journaling.
Putting it on paper,
yes,
let you get it out.
Yes, I started journaling, and next thing you know, I met a guy that wanted to use my journals, and he put them together, and it became a book. And now I just released my second book called Honest Tears, The Language That Never Needed Words.
So what was your first book?
My first book was Shake Back, Taking Back Control of Your Life. So I talked about different struggles that I went through. I talked about my vulnerability, and I also talked about one thing that I talked about in there was the mirror effect, how you look in the mirror and accept all your flaws and accept who you are, and allow the world to see you just as you is, and allow your light to shine. And I also I talked about trusting the process. I'm getting excited, that's why I'm talking so fast. Because I love my books.
Passionate. I love that.
But I talked about trusting the process. Like I stated earlier, many people tell you can be a football star or NBA star, things of that nature, but they never tell you about the process.
Okay, hold that thought.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Hold that thought. We're going to take another short break, and we'll be right back. You're watching WEAC TV, Rise and Shine.
On average, a tow truck operator is killed every 6 days in the United States. A tragic, yet preventable event. The fact is, most people don't know what it's like being a tow truck operator. The dangers that occur while servicing a roadside vehicle are real. However, you can make a difference to help lower this statistic and save lives by simply slowing down and moving over. This simple task can prevent an unnecessary death and allow workers to make it home to the families waiting for them. After all, it's the law in all 50 states, for good reason. Do your part so they can live another day and be there for you when you need them. Move over. Their lives don't belong to you.
Backus Bibles and Books is dedicated to providing churches as well as individuals with products and services geared towards strengthening every relationship with Christ. We specialize in Bibles, Bible imprints, Bible restoration, church supplies, home decor, gifts, and apparel. Call us at 256-201-1202 or visit us Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at 1100 Highway Drive in Oxford, Alabama. We look forward to serving you, equipping the people of God to expand the kingdom of God.
I want to live The leading cause of death of young Americans like me is gun violence, and oftentimes tied to substance misuse. NBA, NFL, NCAA, most of you look like me, and our communities need you now more than ever. Let's make I Want to Live more than just a hashtag. Let's make it a movement. I am a baller against bullets.
Did you guys see that commercial? That was Damarco. That's when you were at ASAP. We still have that commercial. It's a good commercial. We need to keep that commercial. So we were talking about this newfound hobby of yours, writing. So we were talking about the first book.
So we got into trusting the process.
Yes.
That's a big core value of that book. It talks about the struggles, the insecurities that you deal with when you are on a journey of becoming who you are. A lot of kids want to become, like I stated, that NFL star, that NBA star, or even a lawyer, but no one tells them how insecure and how the imposter syndrome can make you feel in that process. And a lot of people give up at that stage.
It's hard work.
Yes, it is. It is. The process is the hard part, but when you look back, if you have the right lenses, that was the most enjoyable part.
Right.
So that's what shaped
And look
back.
how far you've come.
Yes, yes.
You know,
yes.
you've got 2 degrees. Here you are, killing it. You're an author, and you know, starting a new program, and then you're a social worker at a school. I mean, my gosh. I mean,
well,
wow.
a lot of hats, don't I?
Yeah, well, I do too, so I can't say anything. I mean, I get, but I guess that's why I love it so much. I mean, because, I mean, that's what life is all about. We're only here. I mean, it's not dress rehearsal, right? This is it. This is curtain call. This is it.
Yeah, right.
So you know, you only live once. I mean, I think it's awesome that you want to make a difference. I mean, that's how I feel about my program and the things that I do too. There's nothing wrong with that. Just don't ever lose that passion for it, because I mean, it shows through, and I think that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
So, so any plans on future books too?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I want to write some curriculums, but right now I'm taking a pause. I'm trying to get acclimated to my new position as a school social worker. So that's kind of what I'm focused on right now.
That's going to be a challenge, but I think you're going to be awesome at it. I think you'll be good at it.
Thank you, Miss Ellen.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Wow, that's a lot. So, anything that you would like to tell the viewers about well, let's tell them how to get in touch with you again, just to make sure, the name of your mentor program and how to get in touch with you.
So my mentor program is Taking Back Generations. That was established this year, so I'm excited about that. I'm looking for mentors and also mentees. So you can send in your applications to Damarco Curry Speaks at gmail.com. I'm gonna say that again, Damarco Curry Speaks at gmail.com.
Okay, that's awesome. We thank you so much for what you do for our communities, and I think this is wonderful because he's doing it for Anniston and for Talladega. And were you raised here? And where are you from?
So I'm from Talladega.
So you're from Talladega. Okay.
Yes,
So
yes.
My in-laws are from Talladega. Well, my father-in-law grew up in Talladega, and my mother-in-law grew up in Montford. So
Okay.
small world.
Small world,
Yeah. So, but that's great though that you see the need there in both the counties, that you're starting off and seeing that. And I mean, have you had a good response so far? You said you had some applications already.
Yes, but most of my applications has come from the community of Anniston, and that's probably because I've worked here with ASAP, things of that nature, so people are ready. But I do have some mentors that I'm supposed to be interviewing soon from Talladega. And I'm kind of connected with the school system there, so I won't have any problems with soliciting kids. So I'm excited about that.
Right. And so all of you guys in TV land out there, so make sure that you get the word out. I'm a firm believer, free education, everything. Education empowers you to do a lot of things.
Oh yeah.
So that's why we here every Friday. I try to give new information out every Friday. And also, if you guys don't forget to join us on August 19th because we're having a community health series event, our monthly event at the Oxford Civic Center, where we partner with the Oxford Health Authority, and it is free, y'all, free. This month we will have Carl Bates. He's the CEO from the Better Business Bureau, and he will talk to us about fraud, scams, and identity theft. He'll tell us all about the latest scams and all of the things going on. He's kind of scary when he talks, but he knows his stuff. And we will have vendors and door prizes, so don't miss it. And he actually talks about, a lot of people think that scams, this might be interesting to you, Marco, because a lot of people think it's like just seniors and so forth for fraud, scams, that kind of thing. But he said identity theft and everything, right now, the highest population is ages 18 to 32.
Wow, I did not know that.
Because if you think about it, people are online gaming, working online, shopping online, TikTok, like all that, which I'm guilty of TikTok too, but but it would make sense, So he is wonderful. And he's also going to be on the show too, and later on in the month. So make sure that you don't miss that. And every month we have different events. So I think in this month we have Carl, and then in September we're having the Health Awareness Month, which we're going to have free glucose checks, blood pressure checks, hearing, flu shots, vision checks, all the things. Then we have cancer awareness, and we're going to have dementia, caregiver awareness, and then holiday wellness. So we have this every year, so make sure that you don't miss it. And it's free, guys, and we have vendors that give out wonderful goodies, but also great information. And where else can you go without having to make an appointment? You don't have to pay a fee to go see somebody, and you can ask questions.
That's
we've
amazing.
had doctors, we've had all different kinds of great speakers. We'll have to get you to come.
Okay.
Next year we'll have to get you to come to our youth day and talk. And it is Friday too, so I don't tell everybody this. I can't give away all my secrets until you get here, but we do a Friday dance. Every Friday is so we always say it's Friday, so he's not dancing. Y'all, he's not dancing.
Oh, you want me to do it now? Okay, it's
So
Friday. It's Friday.
Because we only had one person, I think we only had one person that danced. And we even had a sergeant major dance. That was hilarious.
Oh.
So yeah, and he did pretty good, as a matter of fact. So make sure that you stay tuned with us for next week as well, because this might be interesting. I have another author coming. So next week we will have Tiffany Jones, who is a local author. I don't know if you know her. She lives in Pleasant Valley out in Jacksonville. She is a local author of the book What the Fire Didn't Take, the Ada Jane Johnston story.
Oh, wow.
This is a story about her maternal grandmother who was murdered in 1977 in Anniston, Alabama.
Wow.
And her body was found in a burned car off Winchester Road, and it's not solved.
Wow. That's
Is
interesting.
that not interesting? Very interesting. So she grew up with a part of her missing. Her mom grew up with a part of her missing. So there's all kinds of neat twists, like very interesting about who they thought it was, and they were going to have a trial, and then they let her go. I mean, just, yeah. And so she's always looking for information. So if you know anything about Winchester Road back in 1977, she also worked for a factory, and I'm sure that she'll go through all this with you. And they were actually, picketing, so on strike, and she crossed the strike. She crossed that picket line because she had a family to feed, right? So we don't, was it somebody from the picket line, or was it somebody that she knew? Somebody, I mean, it's very, you have to watch the show.
Yeah.
It's really good. So, so you want to make sure that you get all that, and make sure that you don't miss any of the wonderful things that Damarco talked about as well. If you missed anything, please go back to our social media page on WEAC TV 24's page, or you can go on Fire Stick. You can go to YouTube, Roku, Apple, local cable, all the things. So you can get us anywhere, right? You can get us anywhere. So you can get on that, and make sure that you go back, and please make sure to share it too. If you go to church, member of a youth group, if you're just out in the community, if you work in a rec center or anything like that where you know kids, or you know maybe grandparents who are raising kids that maybe could learn from this, or if you know someone that would be a good mentor in the Talladega, Anniston area, please contact. Tell me your information again.
So Damarco Curry, this is my email, damarcocurryspeaks@gmail.com, or you can reach out to me via Facebook, Damarco Curry.
Yeah, just send you like a private message or something.
Yes.
Like that. So please make sure that you contact him, and anything like you would like to leave the audience with. Where do you see this program? Where do you hope to see this program? Let's say this time next year.
This time next year, I want at least 2 more counties to come on board.
Oh, that would
2
be
more
awesome.
counties to come on board.
Maybe Etowah, Cleburne.
Yes, because every county could benefit
Oh,
with
I
what this
agree.
program have to offer. So I'm looking to expand.
Yeah,
in this
so if
next
you're
year.
in the surrounding counties, just FYI, and that could be Etowah County, Cleburne County, Clay County, Coosa's close to Talladega, all that's Cherokee. Yeah, you need to contact. I could see that.
Yes.
I mean, it's just like, we cover 10 counties, and everybody says, "Oh my gosh, that's so many," and it is, but in the big perspective of things, it really isn't, because there's 67 counties in the state of Alabama. So we only cover 10.
Right.
There's 13 area agencies on aging in the state of Alabama. So we're one of those 13 that covers 10 counties. And then you have some that only cover 2 counties. I think us and Tarcog up North Alabama, we're the only 2 that serve 10, I think. But, in the grand scheme of things, that's not very much. And if you have mentors in every county, that's doable.
Right.
That's very doable.
Right. So I've been working on grants, things of that nature.
Yes.
So I want to expand, Ellen.
Yes, I can't wait to see this. Yeah. And then I hope that a year from now that you'll be back on my show and you'll be telling me about all the expansion, and then you'll tell me, I know I'm working on a book of all the good stories that have happened, right?
Right.
I can't wait. Well, I'm so glad that I reached out to you, because I always try to catch the people in our communities that are doing good things. And I commend you. I'm thankful for you, and I'm glad that you're doing this. I just really,
Thank you for having me, Ellen.
You're welcome.
I was surprised when you reached out, so I'm grateful for this opportunity.
Oh, you shouldn't be surprised at all. And like I said, when I talk to the people at Jack State, they're all about them some Damarco. So yeah, they love you over there. They couldn't say anything bad about you.
That's my family. That's my second family.
Yeah. So guys, make sure that you contact Damarco. Make sure you go back and watch this. And there is hope out there, and there's somebody out there that can help you through anything that you're going through in life. Don't ever think that you're by yourself. Don't ever think that no one cares. There's always somebody that cares. I care. I know I don't know you, but I care. You're a human, and I care about you, and I'm sure that Damarco feels the same way.
Yes.
That's what we do what we do because we care.
Right.
So, but make sure that you go back, like I said, on social media. Make sure that you go to Fire Stick, Roku, YouTube, Apple, all the things, and on local cable too. So make sure to do that. Make sure to listen to me. August 19th, make sure that you will go to our event for fraud, scams, and identity theft. Make sure it's free. He is a great speaker, by the way. You'll learn a lot of things. It's a free program, and make sure to join us next Friday, as well as we sit down with Tiffany Jones, who is the author of her new book, and where she talks about her grandmother's unsolved murder here in Anniston that happened in 1977. That's going to be a really interesting one too. So I hate to say it, but we're out of time. So it's been great. So we hope that you all have a most wonderful weekend. Stay safe, stay hydrated, and stay cool, right? And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
I want to live. The leading cause of death of young Americans like me is gun violence, and oftentimes tied to substance misuse. NBA, NFL, NCAA. Most of you look like me, and our communities need you now more than ever. Let's make I Want to Live more than just a hashtag. Let's make it a movement. I am a baller against bullets.
I'm Ellen Parnell, the Parnell Insurance Agency. We've been here in Oxford and Alabama, Tallapoosa, Georgia since 1990. With Auto Owners Insurance, we're able to give customers competitive pricing along with excellent coverages. Parnell Insurance can handle all of your personal, commercial, and life insurance needs. We have a very experienced staff, both personal and commercial. All together, we've got about 125 years experience. Come see what our insurance agency can do for you in Oxford, Alabama, and Tallapoosa, Georgia.
Auto Owners Insurance.